Okay, so I got the notches cut in the center board and I've got it in place. I did a little planing on here, as you can see, just to get it kind of leveled down to the table surface. And it fits beautifully. Let me show you what it does when you want to use it as a planing stop. Basically all you have to do flip it upside down. Now I've got about, I don't know, quarter of an inch or so that I can use as a planing stop. And I love that because that way I don't have to get a bench hook out or anything else. So that's really handy. I love this. The walnut I think looks great. I'm going to actually sand everything down and stain it. But you've done like that. Pop it in like that. I make the spaces in the middle for a tool well, so you can drop tools in there while you're working. Pretty nice to have your tools kind of handy. So there you go. So while you're working, you've got a tool well. When you're not, pull them out, put them away. Flip it over, you got a plain stop. I love this idea, and I'm glad I went with the walnut. It's a nice accent. I'm going to sand everything down now and give this a stain. And the last thing I have to do is put all the vices on. I've got an end vise over here, and then I've got the leg vise. It's a little bit more work, and I'll make a separate video for those. I'm drilling the holes for the end vise right now, and I've already done the large one that the screw goes through. And what I did was I actually drilled a small pilot hole all the way through the chop here so that I could start the cut on one side, flip it over, and then finish the cut using the spur on the bottom of the bit as a guide. And that gives me a nice clean hole, as you can see, all the way through with no tear out on either side. So I'm going to go ahead and start on, these are the two rails, one on each side of the screw, and I'm going to start working on those right now. Alright, let me clear away the chips. Alright, hopefully you can see that, a nice clean hole right through there on both sides, no tear out. There we go, so no tear out, both sides look really great. And alright, just one more to do. Okay, so there's all three holes for the chop, and all I have to do is go insert the rods and the screw in there, and we're ready to put this thing on. Alright, I still have to get 4 screws to put into here to hold the chop to the actual vise piece, and then turn a handle for it. but that's easy stuff, and this is installed. Alright, so I turned this quick little handle, then I went over to the bandsaw and cut the ends of it off like that. Then I chopped one end off, and then I took a Forstner bit and hollowed that out, and I drilled a hole in this end, and now I can slide it in here, put this on here like that, and grab a screw and go find my driver. Okay, and then let's drive it home. Alright. So I still have to actually bolt this to the chop, but there you go. Alright, let's see how it works here real quick. Oh, that's pretty tight. I can live with that. Alright, I'm going to drill some dog holes in here eventually so that I can clamp to the surface of the table. And I still, like I said, need to get some bolts for this thing to attach it, but that's pretty darn good. Alright. Okay, I finished up the vise. I'm just super happy with the way this thing came out. I went ahead and hit this handle with a little boiled linseed oil just to give it some protection. I put the screws in here to hold the faceplate and the chop together. I put some adhesive back cork. You can get this in different thicknesses. I've got a really thin, it's like a 1/16 inch thickness. They use this stuff for shelf liners, things like that, but it is fantastic. It's self-adhesive on the back. It mounts in here. I've got a piece on here and a piece on the table. It holds everything nice and tight, and it doesn't mar the surface of the wood. So I can tell you, I am just really thrilled with the way this came out. I've used it already for several other projects that I didn't film, but this thing holds like a beast. I mean, it is a really great vise, and I'm going to put a link in the description below. If you're looking for a vise, an end vise or a front vise, this thing it's not very expensive, and it does a great job. So do me a favor and hit that subscribe button if you would, and then come back and check out the next video, which will have everything to do with a leg vise. All right, y'all take care.